Alright, so moving on to our next Patreon request, and this one comes from Stingy Jack, who asked me to do an Ed, Edd, and Eddy Ghoul School crossover. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon, hit the 3rd tier. That'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, let's get started with the video. So, the story takes place on Halloween, and Eddy has come rushing from school, where Double D's just trying to study in his house, and Eddy just breaks into his house, and Double D's just like, you are aware that this is breaking and entering, right? And he's like, yeah, whatever, shut up, Sockhead. And he reveals that, like, we're going to Spookyville. Like, pack your candy bags, we're going to Spookyville, Double D. And Double D just looks at him like, Eddy, we've been to quote-unquote Spookyville before. It was your brother messing with us. Remember? We spent that whole night and ended up getting beaten. Do you want to do that again? And then Eddy just says, no. You see, I got in contact with my brother, and he revealed that that was the fake map to Spookyville to hide it from people. Here is the real map. And he shows him like another drawn picture, and he's like, oh no, there's nothing I can say that's going to change your mind. Nope, come on, Sockhead, let's go get Ed. And Double D then reminds him, Eddy, maybe we should make sure that he's not wearing his Lothor costume, because that's what got us in trouble in the first place. So Eddy's like, fair enough. Let's make sure he gets a different costume this time. So they go see Ed, and of course Ed is just consuming all these monster movies and whatnot. Double D is frantically trying to, like, get him to watch something else, but it's just not taking. It's not happening in any way, shape, or form. But what does happen is that Eddy tells him, like, new Spookyville, Ed, let's get going. But Ed wants a new costume, because they was like, can I be Lothor again? No! Okay. So Ed puts on another costume, and it's like this space cadet, this space captain from a Star Trek parody. Just like, I had an idea of what the call. Captain Buzz Armstrong, leader of the Star Defense. Yeah, Buzz Armstrong. So, as Buzz Armstrong, Ed believes that he's fighting aliens. He's battling aliens and fighting for the good of Mega Earth. Meanwhile, a magical portal has opened up in the junkyard, and out steps Miss Grimwood alongside the rest of the Grimwood girls. And Miss Grimwood reveals, like, okay, class, today I'm going to be letting you out into the field to properly scare humans. Whoever has the best scare wins the grade. Matches will be here evaluating you, and I'll pick you up in the morning. Have a happy Halloween. So the girls are just like, oh, this is going to be awesome. We're going to we're going to scare the crap out of everyone on Halloween. And the best part is no one will know we're monsters. So yeah, they head out, and they also, like, there's a moment where, like, Tanis is like, why did Miss Grimwood pick a some kind of like nowhere town with a cul-de-sac? And Phantasma's like, maybe it was just because it was like small town and like baby steps to scaring kids. So they head out. As the night falls, Ed and Double D and Eddy also get their costumes. Double D dresses up as Albert Einstein, and Eddy dresses up as James Dean. So the three of them head out after Ed gets into his Captain Armstrong costume, and the three of them head out to find the true Spookyville. So Double D is just like, Eddy, this is just another scam by your brother. Why are you doing this? He's like, shut up, Sockhead. This will, you want candy, we'll get this. And to which Double D is like, remember, the last time we did this, it didn't go well for either of us. Please, for all that is holy, Eddy, listen to reason. I am begging you. But that's when Eddy, stops. in the middle of the street, and they all run into each other, and they're like, Double D's like, what is going on? There. Look. And they see Sabella, like leaning up against a lamppost, looking all like, being the seductress that she is. And Eddy's like, I'm about to turn on the old Eddy charm on the newcomer. Hey, hot stuff, how about you'd like to take a ride on my motorcycle? And Sabella's just like, oh, it's, how cute, you're so adorable, you loudmouth little monster. Come here, give me a kiss. And Eddy's like, okay. So he's about to kiss her, and that's when she shows her fangs. Double D is like, what is going on? Ed, however, is like, stay back, alien vampire from planet Sex. I am Captain Armstrong, and I do not trust you. Grabs Sabella and slam dunks her into a into a dumpster. All the other Grimwood girls are looking at her like, what is that? What did you do? And Sabella just pulls herself up after the other, and Eddy's just like, come on, come on, monobrow. I was about to get lucky. But Armstrong continues on to planet Spookyville, and they head out. All the while, Eddy's like, come on, give me your number, babe. I'm all what's going on? Rest of the girls are they pull her out of the dumpster and what was that? And Sabella's like, apparently we're dealing with idiots. Not to worry, we will, who's next? And that's when Phantasma offers to be the next in line to try to scare them, because they've determined these three need to be scared. This is clearly why Grimwood, to scare these three guys. So Phantasma's next, and the next clue leads them to this old rickety house, and Phantasma starts making it haunted. But of course Ed is like, fool, you cannot stop me, ecto alien from planet Ectus. I am Captain Armstrong, and I punch you in the name of Mega Earth. And proceeds to punch Phantasma. And Phantasma has this moment of, how did he do that? She goes, not only does Ed hit her, but he hits her so hard she goes flying out she doesn't phase through the wall. She busts a hole through the wall, out the house and into a tree. Tree comes down and slams into her. And she's just like, okay, I'm hurt now. And she's like, that doesn't make any sense. And Double D's starting to suspect that there's something weird that's the second girl who's had some kind of strange thing going on with them, but he's refusing to believe they're monsters. The next in line is Winnie. And Winnie's just like, all right, enough of this haunting or seducting. It's time for some blood and guts. So eventually she does chase down the Eds after they find another clue to the new Spookyville. And from there, Winnie proceeds to just start howling at the moon and starts to attack the Eds. And Ed is just like, a Lycanex from planet Wolf. And Eddy's just like, I swear to God, Ed, I think you're just making up words as you go along. And so Ed and Winnie fight. Ed does get the upper hand on her and basically grabs her and proceeds to just bash her into everything he can see, and even tries to use his fake phaser on her, and then he just hits her with it. So then it's Tanis's turn, and Tanis basically turns herself into a swarm of locusts that Ed just blows away with his breath. Finally, they've made it back to quote-unquote new Spookyville. Unfortunately, it's the same Spookyville, as Double D tried to explain. Ed's just completely pissed off. He's like, these girls have been chasing us, so what are they, the cousins of the Canker sisters? And finally, there's one person left, and it's Elsa. And Elsa comes out, walking out there. But here's the thing. Ed, at this point, is, all fired up to fight another alien, quote-unquote. But what happens is Eddy ripped off his costume in a fit of rage because he got fooled again by his brother. So when he sees Elsa, he's like, girl! Ah! But then he looks closer and he's like, Double D, I think I feel something in my special purpose. And Double D's like, that's a lot to unpack, and that's not a mental image I want to see. So Ed goes up to Elsa and is like, hi, my name is Ed. Oh, hi, I'm Elsa. Do you want to be friends? Uh-huh. And everyone does the collective, like, face palm, like the Ed's face palm, the rest of the Ghoul School class just face palms. Like, they're all just, ugh. But, so Ed and Elsa just kind of, like skip merrily down the road, like, talking about horror movies, and meanwhile, Ed's just frothing rage spasm. So there you go. That's the end of the story. I want to thank Stingy Jack for sending me this Patreon request. And you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this story? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.